Hey YouTube, how's it going? We are going nowhere. Asterisk cough. Today I will show you how I created my own in-game currency for Nullwhere, as well as provide some background about myself, and explain what is Nullwhere. Let's start with explaining where the name Nullwhere comes from. Null, according to Wikipedia, means zero to a mathematician, missing value to other, nothing here to CS profession in general. It is nothingness, at least that is how I am intending it. And where, according to Wiktionary, means at what place. Nullwhere is a place of the imagination and consists of a new DM's homebrewed world. So sorry if I am not following your rule set to the letter, but this is mostly because I am taking parts from lots and lots of RPGs Oswell mechanics from many other games, and maybe not the one you think I am. This hodgepodge is from lots of sources, but include D&D 5e, 3e, 3.5e++ supplementals, Shadowrun 4 and 6++ supplements, plus any mechanic I thought might make this more fun for my players or myself, or other flair from other games, including but not limited at miniature rules, parts of other games like tile cards, dice tokens, symbologies so that I can express the scene in meaningful ways, concepts as I have already disclaimed above, and throughout my content, this is a combination of items I have purchases with the purposed, and now reusing for a new purpose / repurposing into my own giant game to help me cope with the reality I find myself in. So to more fully immerse a fantasy world, because a fantasy world is all I got from my 6 years in the army and 8+ years of college. I enjoy a wide variety of nerdy things, fangirl of all fantasy and science fiction. I pledge to always try and sneak another pun in, and will try to add jokes, references, comedic stances / jokes on just about anything I am using because I think it's funny, and is covered under fair use and parody law. Anything I do not own I am using under these laws. I am an Army vet and think the First Amendment is worth fighting for on all fronts, both foreign and domestic, and the belief that comedy has no bounds, so to be fully inclusive I will make fun of anything I think is funny or not funny. It is just me running this channel and creating this content. If there are concerns about my use of something, please reach out to me directly on my channel, or my channel's contact information, or official social media as they become available. It is never my intent to infringe upon your freedoms, just as I would not want someone to infringe upon mine, and I would be happy to talk about this with you if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. But also, you don't have to like my jokes for me to be able to make them. They are mostly for me anyways, because pun, humor, and snarky sharp-wit commentary bring me joy and help me with my poor mental health. And me finding my place in the world, there should be room for something like this channel, and I would be happy to go into more personal details about my medical conditions and why this channel is so important at the very least to me, and my right to purse my happiness. I apologize to the many nerdy things I love if I have not referenced you. Yet, I plan to be fully inclusive, as no one is exempt from the infinite reach of a joke, and the protected activities and creation of new content as a member of modern society. And I have never seen anything quite like this, and I think the average person might agree with me. If I have failed to mention your favorite fandom in my work, let me know in the comments. My vision for this world is clear. It will an all-inclusive domain, exactly as our forefather intended it to be. So enjoy. Or really went down a bunny trail with that one. I'm sure it was a fluke. Of yes, disclaimers. This is also hashtag not sponsored. You are getting just my raw childish opinion of someone who always laughs at their own jokes. They are for me to keep me happy and healthily on this planet long term. Thank you for your understanding. As someone who studied probability, it's not likely my content would ever harm your property, as I am mentally ill and not that funny, and I know for a fact no one takes me seriously, or I would not be making YouTube content for a living. That is also a joke at my expense. He told you I was not very funny. A goofball all day, but my humor is rarely everyone's cup of tea, and I am very okay with that. Where was I? Of yes, my credibility. No one takes me serious, or I would have landed a serious job. So because I have not been able to find a job since graduating college, with honors 3.85 on 4.0 scale with learning disabilities, and living with the mental health issues, and the day in and day out efforts to survive SUD, and having to radically accept that I am powerless in the grand scale of the universe, and radically accepting that I cannot handle the stresses of my chosen career that I worked so hard to break into, but now it is time to focus on my mental health and well-being career. I feel called to help raise awareness for the importance of mental health and breaking down the stigmas around mental health, as well as other social determinants of health, mindfulness practices, as well as other skills used by people dealing with anxiety, depression, living with thoughts that don't align with a healthy worldview. I really hope those who are dealing with those thoughts know about resources and who to call if your life is at risk in this way. I want to get help, and it saved my life. And I want to break down the stigma that we can't talk about this, because the most dangerous thing is not being able to talk to someone else when you have those feelings or impulses. I would like to hold hope for anyone who is having a hard time finding something to fight for today. To find your community somewhere, or create it for yourself. I hope this shows you how to make your own community, and is a place where hope is always held for those who feel they are all alone. Because you and I are the same, and you are not alone in daily having to deal with these taxing thoughts. Go get help. Talk to someone on a prevention hotline. Make and follow your safety plan, and get to safety when you need to. It is waiting for you. And you just might be like me and be surprised what big impacts little changes can have. I gave up my career because my sobriety is worth more to me. I am worth it, and no paycheck ever will be if it comes at the cost of my sobriety. Building this world is what will keep me present in the moment and out of my head. Video games have long been an escape for me, and good for my mental health since I was young. I have been waiting for 2 years to pour my entire self into a job. I just never dreamed my job would be this cool. I had to radically accept that I, in all reality, would not be able to keep both my sobriety and maintain a high-stress job, such as what I went to school for in total about 8 years of my life. I am now all in on this YouTube channel, and I appreciate your support of my channel. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I hope I made someone laugh or smirk somewhere in all this. No one takes me seriously, not even myself, so if you are then, that is your first misunderstanding of my content or what I am creating. You must be forgetting the first rule we have here. That is, have fun. Do it now. Okay, enough fun, be super serious now, and smiling. I plan to comment and make a joke out of everything copyright as possible in the spirit of inclusivity. I do no discriminate, because of how much money an idea made you as a member of this online society. I shall make fun of you too. Now I will finish gluing these signs and get off my soapbox for now at least. But back to my coin smithing. I don't see the need for single units currency. These exist for the purposes of taxation, and this is full fantasy world, so 5, 10, 20, 100 and special value. I am still developing this idea fully, so trust the process, it just might work out in the end. So the aforementioned denoms will be the denominations, but I am still planning out what color represents which. And I am open to your feedback. If you felt strongly about a color being equals to a value, sound off in the comments. I would love to hear from you. P.S. I have not time for low energy comments that will get no attention from me. Cause ain't nobody got time for that. Especially not me, too busy daydreaming my next plot twist, or scoping out potential dad joke opportunities. Games and non-games alike skillfully and satirically conjoined to add to my commentary. Amalgamation of many parts and are pieces from many different sources, which I usually get secondhand from a variety of sources such as Goodwill, Ross, local RPG store, Take Something Leave Something table, and toys from my childhood. Yes, I still have some action figure, okay boy dolls from my more juvenile days, but some may argue I am more juvenile days are still to come. Sorry, did I say that all aloud? I do that sometime due to the fact we can't find the source of the leak. Back to this video. Some such treasure that I recently found at my local, The Bins Goodwill location, you might recognize as a game called Splendor. I found a physical copy of it at The Bins, and I really enjoyed the weight of the chips in my hand. This gave me an idea, what if I used part of this game in a new way to enhance my own game, like adding in-game currency for Nullwhere. While a lot to unpack in that last statement, where to begin? Let's start with the basic. If you already know what an RPG, I am sorry, skip ahead to time_stamp_1. If you don't know what an RPG is, I truly feel sorry for you, but don't feel bad, I am about to change your life. Wikipedia describes a tabletop RPG as a kind of role-playing game, RPG, in which the participants describe their characters' actions through speech and sometimes movements. Participants determine the actions of their characters based on their characterization. And the actions succeed or fail according to a set formal system of rules and guidelines, usually involving randomization, such as through dice. Within the rules, players have the freedom to improvise, and their choices shape the direction and outcome of the game. 2. Timestamp 1 time is here. Wait a second, and the actions succeed or fail according to a set formal system of rules and guidelines, usually involving randomization, such as through dice. That sounds a lot like statistical probability, and it just so happens I know a lot about that. I graduated 2023 with have a BS, Bachelor's of Science, not to be confused with the other BS on this channel, in data science with a minor in computer science, which is a clue to where some of my humor originates, from PSU. And I apparently went through all those years of mathematics classes and truly the endless hours to learn how to coding, and the hours trying to get my brain working like a statistician and building statistical models plus equals my 30+ years of being a man-child and a loud and proud nerd has all culminated to this. No, really, this is my job now, and I'm loving every second of it. Speaking of BS, this channel follows a basic principle when designing these supplemental, or one might even describe them as options for any tabletop RPG. Well, besides the super obvious one, have fun, which is exactly why I am creating these enhancements to show you. You can be a fool like me and run a campaign, use mine, or make your own campaigns more immersive and fun. But to do this optimally, I follow the BS or budget strict guideline. Here's how: just follow my BS ABCs. Where is for awesome upcycle here. We are using something that might otherwise just end up as pollution, so giving these items a fresh life is pretty awesome in my books. Pun intended. Always just for you hopeless romantics out there. But I digress. Giving seemingly worthless item meaning is my purpose, so really win-win on that one. B is for budget, because we successfully achieved C, cut cost. Which I know doesn't make perfect sense, but trust the process. And you too can be like us, and be ballin' on a budget on a tabletop of your own design. Speaking of, make sure you smash that like BTM button, obviously, the only BTM I be smashing. And subscribe if you want to join my ever-growing list of happy subscribers, that is. This should be fun at the very least for me, so join us as I journey Nullwhere. You are all very welcome to join in on the fun, and see all my behind the scenes of how I plan out everything from plot twist to puzzle design, and learning how you can further flesh out a world of your own design. The limit really is your imagination. You just might find it's actually pretty fun to be a DOM, Dungeon Officiate a Mechanism, or be a SUB for some other DOM, and try out how they run their table. You are just along for the ride. My sole hope and desire is that you might feel inspired to try something new on your table, who knows, you just might like it, and be inspired to begin your own campaign, or spice up a long-running game with some friends, and make some memories in this ever so fast-paced life. P.S. Are we having fun yet? Don't forget to have fun along the way is all I'm saying. Some of us more than others. So I invite you join me on this journey as I take you all on this world tour of my imagination, full of magical, mystery, and a lot of unaliving hobos, knowing my vet friends, as we all are going Nullwhere. This is my third iteration of this setting, so I've been working out the glitches still. But one thing is unchanged, and that is me striving to create the most epic, staying in my extremely lowest budget, while still creating but still magical tabletop RPG possible for my friends. If you don't know, I truly feel sorry for you, so I will explain what is a tabletop RPG. Wikipedia describes a tabletop RPG as a kind of role-playing game, RPG, in which the participants describe their characters' actions through speech and sometimes movements. Participants determine the actions of their characters based on their characterization. 1. And the actions succeed or fail according to a set formal system of rules and guidelines, usually involving randomization, such as through dice. Within the rules, players have the freedom to improvise, and their choices shape the direction and outcome of the game. 2. But going Nullwhere is going to be so much more than this, as I am also going to be turning what happens on our tabletop into a science fiction novel series based off the dice rolls / what happens on my table. But more on that later. Today I will be showing you how I made my own in-game currency. I felt a muse of inspiration and rolled well on my imagination checks, and came up with this idea to add a physical in-game currency to my world. This is for a couple reasons. I think it will be more immersive and satisfying for my players to be thrown some real coins to add to their inventory as they complete missions and tasks in-game. This might also lead to some other in-game dynamics, like inviting players to try and make their knockoff versions of my currency, and see if I notice. If they succeed in spending fake currency to the in-game bank they get bonus. But if I catch them, there will be consequences. I am also thinking about mixing the Splendor coins with the ones I created to maybe make a side quest to find all 7 coins / 5 coins in a set to unlock some special gear or weapons. These are just a couple ideas I have so far, but I hope this inspires you to maybe add this dynamic to your own game. Here are my Nerdist DOM, Dungeon Officiate a Mechanism, tip of the day, for all my many happy subs out there. I'm talking about subscribers. I see you giggling though your screen, that was not what I meant at all, winky face. If you are planning to go to Goodwill, the Bins, or any other local secondhand shops to look for props for your own game like me, I would bring. Bring some leather or gardening gloves with you. There are often broke pieces and pocky things, so be careful when reaching into the bins. I have learned that one the hard way. This last trip to the bins I found a physical copy of the game Splendor, which Wikipedia describes as an engine building and resource management game. Because I found this game at a local, the bins, I wanted to first see what all pieces were there. Which leads to my second tip. Inventory the game before you leave the bin you found it in. The box might have opened, and there are more parts of the game around. Sometimes games are not taped shut when donated, and people are not always considerate about items in the bins that are not interesting to them. But this is kind of the fun of the bins. You are digging for treasure, and you never know what you just might find in the bottom of a bin. I am sure there are other the bins Goodwill locations around the US, but I just had never heard about the bins until I lived in this area, and I frequent the one closest to me. I will be sharing some second-hand haul videos soon showing some of the really cool and extremely cheap things I have found for my world. thought this video, thank you for watching. Leave a comment of your favorite coin combo, so I know you made it this far. Until next time, be well, and take care of each other out here. It's a rough time for a lot of people. You might be surprised how a little kindness makes both parties' day better for it. Until next time, winky face, you devoted viewer. So far, stay toned. Until next time, thank you. I am not bitter or crying about the 2 hours of lost footage I took of me gluing all 197 of these coins and gems together. To compromise, I will show the results of my hard work a little long. Please enjoy the relaxing music and this moment to not do anything but relax. Good night.